Hello everyone, welcome back to the Goody Life, where life is good and everything is great. I am Dr. Goody, and the Goody Life is all about finding motivation, inspiration, and self-growth in all different aspects and areas of your life. And if you've been watching my last few videos, you know July month is all about health and wellness. I've been having professionals coming in from across the globe where they're talking about physical fitness, nutrition, yoga, which we talked about last week. And in my last week video, I also talked about this video. I will be talking about my health and wellness plan that I do on a day-to-day basis. However, last week we were supposed to be talking about yoga and mindfulness, and I felt like we had so much information on yoga that we didn't get to address mindfulness quite a bit. So I thought, why not bring in another professional where she can tell us a lot more about mindfulness. And after this video, I promise I will be talking about my health and wellness journey and what I practice in my day-to-day life. And just a reminder for all of my viewers out there, the Goody Life and all of my videos on YouTube is solely for informational and educational purposes only. And while you're watching this video, another quick tidbit, make sure you watch it all the way to the end. Just like the yoga video from last week where we did a practice session, we will also be doing a mindfulness session in the end of this video. Enjoy! So joining me today all the way from Germany is the lovely Brianna. Welcome, Brianna.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, thank you. I'm so glad you can join us. So if you've been checking out my videos from the last few weeks, you notice I'm talking a lot about health and wellness. And
Yes.
last week I touched bases actually on yoga and mindfulness, but I felt like we needed to talk about mindfulness a little bit more because there's so much into yoga. So that's why I wanted to do a video today where we kind of really capture it and talk a bit more on mindfulness itself. But before we get started and we go right into that, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, and what got you into mindfulness?
Well, my name is Brianna, and I started yoga teaching during the COVID-19 pandemic. So I'm originally a professional dancer. I've trained in dance and I've taught dance for over a decade. So yoga has been quite a natural transition for me. When I was stuck in the pandemic and there was, little space to move, yoga became my vice, and I fell in love with the mindful movement that yoga gives you. And actually, my joy of teaching has astounded me because I have gained this new love for teaching others and helping others find calm in a crisis, which we're all in right now. So it's been amazing to really stop and just be present and mindful and help others discover mindfulness.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I'm really happy that we're able to talk about mindfulness in this time frame, just because of the way everything is going. There's just an additional stressor for everyone. And along with yoga, mindfulness is a really great way, I find, to kind of balance yourself, ground yourself. And over time, with practicing it day after day, you kind of improve on that skill set, and you're really able to touch bases with your inner self and ground yourself when it's needed. And this can happen for 2 minutes or 30 minutes, once you're practicing it. So that's what I like about it. And I feel like it'll be really, really helpful for the audience right now to also learn a little bit about mindfulness and how it works and how they can utilize it in their day-to-day lifestyle every day moving forward. So a lot of time people, at least myself, I was confused in the beginning. What is mindfulness? What is meditation? Because sometimes it goes hand in hand. Sometimes it sounds like it's two separate concepts. If you don't mind, what's the difference, or how does it even differ, mindfulness versus meditation?
Well, the two terms are very similar, but they are different. So the difference comes from the time spent being mindful. So So you can be mindful by simply going for a walk and noticing how your feet are feeling on the ground, or taking your shoes off and feeling the grass. But then you can be distracted by your phone going off or somebody talking to you. Meditation is taking that time, turning your phone off, putting everything aside, sitting down for at least 30 minutes and being mindful, keeping your energy in and not moving. So meditation is the act of mindfulness done for a longer period of time.
Wow, thank you. I have heard this so many different versions, and I really like the way you broke it down. That's so nice. It's like active mindfulness. Everything is cut off and I'm just in this mode, and mindfulness is more where you are just kind of tuning into your here and now awareness. Meditation is a little bit more, you're more calm and you're more for a longer time practicing it, and you go more in tune with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about being aware and present in the moment. And you can do that, you can stop and do that at any time. Anytime you're feeling maybe overwhelmed or worried or thinking too far ahead, you can stop and you can go for a walk, or you can, you can just stop and feel your fingers rubbing together and close your eyes and just breathe. And that's going to help you. The more you do that, the constant mindfulness throughout your day, there's so many benefits to that, which we will get into.
Yes, and a lot of time people also have to understand the concept of mindfulness is really, for me, or my perception of it, is reducing multiple thoughts, because we have multiple thoughts at the same time. We're thinking what we're going to cook for dinner. I got to go do the laundry. I got to pick the kids up. So the idea with it is, you're just like you said, whether you're holding your fingertips, you're paying attention to that, whether you're paying attention to your breathing. That's the whole idea, is you're just gauging into one thought, or you're focusing onto one thing. Great. Yeah. As a professional and someone who has been practicing yoga and mindfulness, why is it important for us to incorporate mindfulness in our daily lifestyle, our day-to-day?
So practicing mindfulness throughout your day can help relieve stress and anxiety. So we're all human, we all worry, we all have our stresses in our lives. So taking the time to focus on what you're doing now is also a form of acceptance, and it's going to help you on your path to inner peace, which everybody is striving for. And it has to come from within, and that's what mindfulness is all about. It's about bringing the energy in and accepting that what you're doing and where you are is good enough for now, and breathing and stopping and just moving forward, doing the next step is okay. And that's so important, especially when we're all dealing with a crisis, a pandemic. It can be overwhelming. And for mental health, mindfulness is truly an amazing tool that we can use.
That was so interesting. You said finding your inner peace, right? A lot of time we're looking everywhere for it. We're like, oh, let's try this, let's try that, let's do this, let's do that. And we're so busy with distractions and every other way that we can possibly think, oh, this will help us find inner peace, or this will help. But the truth of it is, like you said, sitting and looking into your own inner self, and that's practicing, that's basically the practice of mindfulness. Sitting there with yourself, watching your thoughts, getting to one thoughts, it really helps to start that inner peace and help you connect with yourself. And once you can connect with yourself, that's one of the biggest things I always talk about, connecting with yourself, your own individuality, finding out who you are, accepting it, appreciating it, really helps you to take on the day-to-day life stressor, work, enjoyment, fun, whatever it is. You see it in a different light, and you can manage it much more when you know yourself on a better level. And I think that really truly happens when we practice mindfulness.
Yeah. And it extends into your relationships with other people as well. It makes you more compassionate and understanding of others if you're more understanding of yourself.
Absolutely. We become much more sensitive to people and what they're going through, right? Because we were able to look into our own self and saw how we felt about a scenario, possibly. And then we understand when somebody else is sharing it too and not just brush it off. One of the things people like to learn about a lot, which is of course very important, is how does these practices and changes benefit them? So what are some health benefits from practicing mindfulness daily?
So, practicing mindfulness can improve cognitive function. So, your ability to sustain your attention, to process information, and to retain information. So, your learning skills. It'll make, the more that you practice mindfulness, the better you get at just being aware and really taking everything in on a deeper, more intellectual level. So that's a huge skill that we can all use, especially nowadays when we're on our phones and our attention span is just very, very quick. So mindfulness is great for that reason. It also promotes healthy eating. So if you're mindfully eating, you're really thinking about what's going into your body. What will this nourish my body? Will this, you're stopping and you're actually thinking, where's this come from? Is this sustainable? Where does this meat come from? All of those things. And also just eating more mindfully in terms of slowing down, tasting your food. That can also help with your intake of food. The slower you eat, the quicker you sort of realize, oh, actually I'm full. If you sort of scoff down a meal quickly, you don't realize you might have been full 10 minutes ago. So mindful eating can create a healthier, balanced diet as well, which, we all need. So mindfulness also improves your sleep quality. So your ability to relax and press that reset button. That is the gift of mindfulness, because that can be one of the hardest things that, a lot of us struggle with is sleep. So I think that is a huge, huge benefit. If you can learn to just focus your mind on one thing at a time. I mean, an example of this is when you're trying to sleep, just starting from the toes and thinking about relaxing the toes, moving your way up the body, actively relaxing your muscles until maybe you fall asleep before you reach your neck. But it's a really useful skill to have. And, as we know, like if you're sleeping well, you're a much happier person, you're able to function so much better. So that's a huge, huge benefit. It also elevates your sex life. So if you're mindfully, yeah, it's a good one. If you're mindful in the bedroom, if your mind's elsewhere, you're not going to enjoy each sensation. So that's a huge plus if you can practice being mindful in the bedroom. And last but not least, it promotes overall happiness. I think mindfulness, all those benefits that I just listed, I think happiness is just a byproduct. If you're enjoying those, amazing benefits from something so simple as just stopping and reflecting and taking your energy inwards, noticing what's around you, noticing your sensations, you're just going to be a overall happier human being.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, happiness is a byproduct of what you're doing. So most of the time, if we take the time to relax, focus on people might not even think of this concept a lot, but as simple as focusing on the food that we're eating makes so much changes within the mind and the body both. Because like you said, first of all, we're going to become more aware of what we're putting in our body. So chances are we're going to put in good and healthy and nutritious stuff. The second part is how that nutrition benefits you physically also. So that will automatically start making you feel better when you're seeing differences within yourself, when your mood is elevated. And it's through different things we practice in our day-to-day life. Those are the benefits. We started off talking about just sitting and being in the here and now. And I think that's the start of it. but it really, I find that part where we talked about mindfulness really the overall, when you're focused on things that you're doing and you pay it a bit more attention, that's what we're lacking. So that's why the sensation is not there all the time. So if we can hone down or zone down on one activity at a time, it will be the byproduct of happiness, of feeling good, feeling better, because we're focusing on it and we're enjoying that moment.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. And these days, you know, being on our phones with social media and having the TV on and having, you know, multiple things happening at once, and then your mind's elsewhere, it's not a conducive environment to peace, to inner peace, and it's harder to find it these days, and it comes from within. That's where you have to start.
Yeah, just
Making the
pausing
choice.
and being with yourself. You're right. So we talked about the benefits and the importance of practicing mindfulness. Now, I know for most of us, when we're starting a new journey or we're beginning something, the idea is building that habit. And we like to start slow. If we just jump right into it, we may not want to do it anymore if we do too much of it. So, what advice or recommendation do you give to a starter, someone who is now going to start mindfulness or start that practice in their day to day life? What's the best way for them to start, maybe time wise? Or is there like an easy breathing exercise? What do you recommend for beginners?
I think the most simple way of practicing mindfulness comes from breathing. However, that can seem a little bit daunting to sit down and breathe if you've never really done that before, if you feel a bit silly. So if we take it back and strip it back one more level to just something that we all do all the time. So something like going into your garden, taking off your shoes and just feeling the grass beneath your feet and just noticing how it feels. So closing your eyes, feeling the grass on your feet. Is the grass slightly damp? Is it cold? Can you feel a breeze brush through your skin? Is the sun out? Can you feel the sun touching your skin? Can you smell the grass? So just awakening your senses to something that is so pure and so humanly natural, to just feel the grass beneath your feet. That's a really simple way of practicing mindfulness and understanding what it means. And then maybe once you understand it, you can sit down with your breath and do the same thing. So, I mean, at first on your own is a little bit hard. So you can YouTube yoga with Brianna, and you can practice some breathing techniques with me, or any yoga teacher, anyone that has knowledge.
So, Brianna, you have so much knowledge on yoga, dancing, and mindfulness. I'm pretty sure after people watch this video, they're going to be like, how can we reach out to her? So, how can someone reach out to you or learn more about your practice?
I have a website. It's yogawithbrianna.com. On there, you'll find more information about what I do, the classes that I teach, a little bit more about me, and also how to get in touch if you have any more questions. It's all on the website. There's also links to my Instagram and Facebook on the website.
Thank you so much. Just in case someone want to reach out to you, because you have so much knowledge on this topic.
Thank you so much. And I really hope that I got through to you and your audience, and they now understand a little bit more about what being mindful truly is.
Thank you for sharing that. And now, since we're getting up into the last part, I know you're going to do a practice session with us for the next 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to pass it all over to you, and we're going to follow you through this.
Okay. All right. So the first thing you need to do is just make sure you've got a comfortable seated position. So if you're sitting at your desk at work, or you're at home, or wherever you are, just make sure it's comfortable. If you can pop a cushion under you, just feel really relaxed and calm in your own space. And then I want you to close your eyes. If you can think about pulling up and out of your hips, lengthening the spine, growing tall, Start to slow down your breathing. Inhale through the nose. Slow exhale out of the mouth. See if you can go a little slower this time. Inhale. Exhale. This time as we inhale, I want you to let out a sigh on your exhale. And again, inhale. Big sigh. Good. Keeping your eyes closed. I want you to notice if you're breathing through your rib cage or your belly. Can you feel your rib cage expand? Can you feel your belly rise? Take your hands onto your belly and see if you can expand your belly as you inhale and let it deflate as you exhale. Just notice how that feels. This time, just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Keeping the mouth closed. Listening to your breath. Gently start to open your eyes. If you can see me, we're going to close the forefinger and the middle finger down, and we'll just have our thumb and ring finger that we're going to use. If that feels a little tricky, just do the chakras. So aiming to get the ring finger and the thumb. And place your thumb over your left nostril or right nostril, whichever hand you're using. And inhale through one nostril. Hold the breath and switch to the ring finger, holding over the other nostril as you exhale. And switching again, inhale. Hold the breath as you switch and exhale out of the other nostril, keeping the mouth closed. Switching hands, inhale. Hold the breath, switching fingers, exhale. One more, switching, inhale. Hold, switch, exhale. Now inhale through that same nostril. Hold, switch, exhale through the other nostril. And switch, inhale. Hold, switch, exhale. Inhale, switch. Hold, switch, exhale. And gently release, taking the hands into the lap, keeping the eyes closed, breathing naturally. Pulling up tall through the spine. Start to circle your arms up above you as you inhale. Touching palms at the top. Exhale, lower your hands to your heart. Inhale, circle the arms again, reaching, finding energy in the fingers, stretching up tall, touching palms. Exhale, lower hands to heart. You can exhale out of your mouth now if that feels more comfortable. Inhale, reaching up one more time, finding that love and light. Touching palms. Exhale, send it down towards you, letting it fill you up. And just taking a moment here, keeping those hands to prayer. Listening to your breath. Maybe setting an intention for your day. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And continue this feeling now in everything that you do from now on. This feeling of calm and acceptance, of inner peace.
Thank you for that, Brianna.
You're welcome.
That was really relaxing. I was practicing it with you, and you can feel it right away when you start focusing on your breathing. You immediately just have that one aspect or that area that you're paying attention to, and you feel your body relaxing throughout. So that's amazing, just starting off with such a small timing, but how much it helps to impact you. And like you said, you take that feeling throughout your day, which also enhances your mood throughout the rest of your day.
Exactly. And it just takes your focus away from all the chaos that's around you and just to your breath, just to be what it feels to be alive and be human. So it's something we all take for granted all the time. Breathing, we do it without thinking. So
and how much it can help us, right? How much it can benefit us. I want to thank you so much for joining us and sharing all of the information and knowledge you have on mindfulness. And I think I have learned so much. I'm going to be mindful in some other areas that you taught me today. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Goody. I've so enjoyed being on your YouTube channel, and I hope that your listeners enjoyed and learned a lot about mindfulness that maybe they'd never heard before.
So there you had it, everybody. I hope you liked this video. Do not forget, and I mean do not forget, to hit the like, subscribe, share, and comment button below. Do let me know, do you practice mindfulness in your day-to-day life? See you all next week. Bye for now.